And welcome back to part 16 of Dragonstar VARNIR, where today we're finally exploring the Wilderness of Atonement, the next dungeon on our quest. Even though we're only going through it as a shortcut so we can try and get to South Azure, the town that Zephy came from, to check out his house to see if they've really ransacked it, which they obviously have. But the Wilderness of Atonement is the first proper dungeon you have access to after potentially having Farrier join the party, or potentially not if your madness scale was way too high and all the kids were dead. The air is really dry here. Not only that, but it's kind of lukewarm. Doesn't it make you feel kind of sick? You mean humid? You're right, just standing I feel gross. Nothing surprising. It's hot in the afternoon, cold at night. It rarely ever rains, and no plants can be cultivated here. Neither humans or witches can live here. Dragons are the only creatures around. Needless to say, it's very dangerous. It's like we jumped right into a dragon pit. I see. That is pretty spot on. It's pretty late to say, but I'm getting worried. I hope we can pass through safely. I know, especially after seeing all of this. I don't know how confident I am. This is a bit more challenging than I expected it to be, but it'll be worth it. Oh, you sound very sure of yourself. It comes down to mind over matter. You just have to keep pushing through before your thoughts get the better of you. I don't want to let my fears get a hold of me. Minessa! You're right, I can do this! Alright, let's get going. Let's be strong, but let's also be careful. And now it's going to teach you that Fairy's ability is that it will make an effective shield that will defend you from stage hazards like this poisonous fog in the area. But, as you can see, in this dungeon, it's only to lead to treasures. In the next dungeon, it's in the main path. So if you are going down the madness route, you have to tank damage if you want those treasures, so you miss out a little bit. You can still get them, it doesn't do that much damage, but it's still like, if you'd rather avoid it. Whilst in the next dungeon, it's literally everywhere, including on the main path, so you have to suffer it a little bit. But then saying that, you're probably going to be taking your time more often, because if you're deliberately going for the madness route, you don't care for the time limit, because of course you're going to get the kids killed.
It's over.
And you're going to see me try my hardest to get this, but this little thing is determined to not play ball. It takes me quite a while to get this snake. And I'm like, come on, what's going on here? 32%, come on, let's go. Miss. Alright, let's hit it with another water spell. But you're gonna struggle if you want Farrier in your party straight away, and then it runs away. So you get nothing out of that. Like, I sat on the results screen for a second there because I was like, are you serious? But there are these land sharks you can find, or Ku sharks as they call them, that will make us a nice substitute until then. Assuming I can actually hit. That's the annoying thing. If you miss your attack, it doesn't matter what the percentage is. It's just not happening. Hey! 50-50 chance actually got it.
Let's go.
Also, now I was skipping through animations and the thing just straight up murdered Zephy. I was like, what the hell? And this was when I was playing along. I completely forgot. This is where the challenge steps up. This is the next benchmark point of where the challenge starts to increase. And because I was just expecting it to be as tough as the last dungeon, it caught me by surprise that the enemies can actually rip you to shreds in this dungeon. You need to be wary of that.
This seems useful.
Once you complete a star temple, the very next dungeon you go to usually has a difficulty increase.
Let's keep it up.
It happened last time too, but it was just not really noticeable because it went from very easy to kinda easy. Whilst now it is a considerable challenge. If you are not prepared for the fight or get cocky, a member or two of your team will just randomly die. The next difficulty spike isn't for a little while, and it's not actually after the next temple. There's another difficulty spike before the next temple, because we actually have a fair amount of more dungeons to go before then. It's not like last time, where it's like you go on one slight detour and then you go to it. We've got, off the top of my head, 3 more dungeons before we go to the next temple, so we've actually got quite a bit to do. We don't go to the 3rd temple until chapter 10.
This looks useful.
And I think we're in chapter 7 right now. And I'll do my last obligatory check to get this over here.
Let's go.
I'm up. It doesn't hurt anymore.
The only thing that can be a little annoying, but it doesn't bother me as much as it used to because I play Mary Skelter really. going through all the characters to find the one you need for a situation. Sometimes you will just have to cut in and just keep on tapping L1 to go through them all, and it's just a little like, I wish they could have done something a bit quicker with it. What they should have done instead is made that you hold L1 and it comes up like a character wheel and you can just pick from there. Because it would have been much quicker. But I've gotten a little more used to it because Mary Skelter has 11 characters but 12 abilities, and you just tap the button again on that to scroll through everyone, because their main character per se, Jack, gets 2 abilities because he has the Mary Gun and the Mary Reverser.
Get ready.
Then every playable character, which is there's 10 like battle characters, because Jack's your social avatar, but he doesn't actually get involved in battles. It's an odd thing with Mary Skelter. Then you have 10 actual characters, and each one have their own unique ability. The only thing that makes it a little bit more manageable is that some of the characters' abilities straight up replace others, which kind of makes them null and void. But it's like you get Hamlin, and you never use Rapunzel again. Like, you never use Rapunzel's ability again because they're the same shit. The only added bonus is that Rapunzel's ability can cling onto monkey bars, but outside of the dungeon you get her from, it only appears like in one other instance, and it's in the post-game optional dungeon.
Failed?
So you just, every time there's an item out of reach, instead of using Rapunzel's thing, you just use the iron pole. You just use Hamlin's ability.
Sense the dragon. Power of the dragon.
But that's a completely different game, and a game that I will probably at this rate never get to Let's Play. And to be honest, as much as I enjoy it, I'm fine with that, because I don't think that game would be fun to commentate, because it is extremely repetitive. It's a long ass game. My total playtime, because I platinumed it like just before I started recording Dragonstar, because that was kind of my prerequisite to myself. When I was taking my short break between SpongeBob and this, it was finally platinum Mary Skelter, because I'd had it like 99% done for ages.
Let's go.
The only thing that was missing was doing blood devolution, or devolution, whatever you want to call it, to level 80, which basically you have to hit level 80 and then you can manually lower your level to rearrange your stats, and you just, once you hit level 80, then do it, so you get devolution 80 sort of thing, and then you get a trophy for it. And then the other one was beat the optional dungeon, and the optional dungeon just it burnt out trying it, because it's 100 by 100 meter floors.
How's that?
And it's a maze-like game. It literally takes forever to get through. But I'm glad I finally got it done. It's just a game. My total playtime was 60 hours. It was like 60 hours and 36 minutes or something like that. And it's like, this game is as you go from one maze to the other, it's just got a different aesthetic about it. I would really struggle to consistently talk about it, because the game is extremely repetitive, and there's only so much about the plot I can talk about.
Pretty cool.
Because the plot's interesting, but it doesn't really get interesting until like halfway through.
Time to switch.
Like the moment Gretel joins the party is the moment the plot starts to evolve a little more, because Gretel questions things the rest of the party just doesn't. She doesn't have any trust that blinds her from the truth. She doesn't give a shit. So if she sees something that's oddly suspicious, she calls it out, even if everyone else thinks it's not suspicious at all, because they trust the person who's doing the suspicious thing. And it ends up making the plot more interesting from that point. But you see what I mean? This dungeon's already over. We're 8 minutes in, this dungeon's already over.
Hang out.
And it's a good thing too, because the kids have lowered a phase as well. So it's like, you really aren't going to be here. This dungeon is very linear and very straightforward, which is appreciated, because the next dungeon is also a little on the shorter side, but the reason why is a bit different than it is for this one. The next dungeon is actually pretty sizable. It's just every objective only takes place on one floor.
This is tasty.
So you can go through the whole dungeon and only touching the ground floor. You never need to go up and down any stairs, which is what I'll be doing when we get to it. Also worth mentioning, when you go for this boss, there's going to be 2 separate choices that affect your madness scale after the fight before you can next save. So just be careful.
So impatient. We're almost there. I think we'll need to take care of a big problem before we get there, though.
Huh? What do you mean, Manessa?
It looks so powerful. Judging from its size and ugly mug, I'm guessing it's the lord of this area. Oh, come on. Karikara, why did you say that? You've pissed it off now. This is my fault? What are you talking about? Do you really think that dragon can understand us?
You're right. Cut the crap, Charlotta!
You know, you're a little dumber than I thought you were.
Shut up!
Whoa!
Either way, it must think we're taunting it by now.
Are you serious?
Save it for later. We need to focus. It's coming right for us.
Charlotta and Karikaru's dynamic never stops being amusing to me. I genuinely enjoy it. Every time, like, Charlotta kind of turns to Karikaru, in the back of my head I'm going, here we go. But anyway, this is Gain Zora, our next major boss per se. And like I said, we have since had the difficulty spike, so just approach this with a little bit more caution. Thankfully, Charlotta is already ready to go into a dragonic form, so we've got someone to have a high damage power right from the get-go, which is always a welcome thing. I don't go out of my way to ever try to do it. It's just if I can get away with it whilst I'm there, I might as well, because it can make a difference and speed up the fight a lot. As I was saying before the fight, there's going to be a decision not too long after this, and then another decision after a bunch of cutscenes, both of which making the wrong choice can affect your madness scale. So make sure to save before you do this fight, and just be careful. Like, one of them is really obvious, but the other one, you might be tempted to, like, pick the other option. Because you have to directly disagree with the entire party. And it's like doing that, and just because then it keeps you sane, and it's like, like, you'd be hard tempted to just agree, but no. I've mentioned it before, the two things you have to watch for doesn't involve being nice. It's be honest and be kind to the world. If you don't just agree to teammates because you won't get the right madness scale, you won't help yourself. You'll just worsen your situation and make your madness worse. Your focus is on just being truthful and saying the right thing to a situation, not just saying what your friends want you to hear. Which is a hard lesson to learn, but one that could very much apply to real life in the right circumstances. You should always try and be honest, and sometimes it is better to say the right thing even if your friends don't agree. Gain Zora, though, compared to like what we've been up against, is easier. Yes, it's after the difficulty spike, but it's still like, it's still not horrible. Like, I know I'm kind of contradicting myself from earlier, but as long as you can get the body piece underneath out of the way, you're fine. The only thing you need to be wary of is keeping your defense buffed, because it's going to be boosting its attack throughout the fight, and yeah, you'll feel it after a while. If you haven't got some kind of team tanking on there, or if you haven't got any kind of defensive boosting abilities, just lower its attack instead. Otherwise, you're gonna struggle a little with this fight. But we managed to break off triple fireballs, so it can't just free hit people like that. And so now I start taking the opportunity to start buffing. I think I start buffing Zephy. Yeah, because I know his dragon form's gonna be coming up soon. So I think if I buff him now, when it comes around, I could just go on the attack really aggressively and really lay waste. Because Charlotta's doing 6,000 damage for Pete's sake. What am I planning? You can see the gears are turning. Vanessa's always the odd one when it comes to boss fights for me. Because, like, Zephy and Charlotta, I always know exactly what I want them to do. I want them to do a little bit of buffing and then go super aggressive. But Vanessa is so much of a jack of all trades that I kind of have her to be a healer and defense booster, but not much else. Like, she's got some attacks, but it's not that common that enemies are weak to water or wind. At least in my luck, they're not. Because they're the ones I happen to choose for her. And it feels like everything I've done since, like, making that choice has just resulted in the enemy not being weak to what I need it to be weak to. So Vanessa ends up falling behind a little. That being said, she can rock it with the best of them when she's in her dragon form if you just stick to physical attacks. Especially with Power Assault. Power Assault never stops being great. Look, 4,000 damage just done. Power Assault and Magic Assault constantly get better the more you level up, because it bases its damage on your health and SP respectively. So if you keep it around, you won't really need to worry about getting other physical attacks. I replace it eventually, because the grow for it only goes so far, and eventually there will be skills that are just so much better it's kind of not worth keeping the Power Assault. but you can keep Power Assault and Magic Assault for so much longer than you can most other physical attacks before it starts to run out of worth. But now Charlotte is out of her Dragonic form, I lower her to the bottom plane, because the top and bottom is where your magic boosts are if you're using the formation I am, which is just good old Thunder Force again, where it's like a 6% boost to physical if you're in the middle, or a 6% boost to magic if you're on top or bottom. Which doesn't always work out in my favour, because sometimes, you know, the bit of the boss we're actually aiming for is on the top row, so you can't get the physical bonuses. But it does what it needs to. Because now Zephy's been boosted, I'm like, get up there. Paralysed Road, smack it. 7,000 damage. Beautiful. As it buffs all its stats again.
Damn it!
Miasma Gas is a little worrying though. Thankfully it hit the two that were dragons, so they just recovered from it. But if it had hit Charlotta instead, it would have started to be a bit more problematic. And there's the biggest evidence of power difference between dragon form and physical. Charlotte's stats are really, really damn good, but because she's not Dragonic, she did like 600, 700 damage, whilst everyone else ripped out 2,000 because they're in the dragon forms. Like, that is how much of an extra kick you get out of the dragon forms with physical attacks. Ooh. The only thing that's a little annoying, when this boss is weak, it has like this long animation of it being like, ugh, I'm dying. And it has to do it after every single action it takes. Action you take on it, like you hit it and it just goes, ugh, I'm dying again. You whack it and it goes, ugh, and I'm dead.
That was...
But Gain Zora, it's more just preparing you for what's up ahead, because now we are on the other side of the next difficulty increase with the second temple done, and so that boss is just showing to you that you need to start putting a bit more strategy involved, because the boss fight isn't hard really, but it will be boosting its attacks, so if you're not buffing or lowering its stats to counter it, it's going to rip you to shreds. We were able to get rid of the biggest obstacle in one piece. We just have a little more to go. I'm pretty surprised we got through that so quickly. Save it for when we actually reach the end. Good point. Uh-oh, someone's here. Ah! What was that? Look at the sky over there. There are so many birds above the Forest of Judgment. They all flew off at once. Maybe they're running away from something. I wonder what's going on in there. Do you think the Knights and the Ravens are at it again? It'd be great if they just beat each other up already. Did they throw another dragon at them? Well, I guess it has nothing to do with me anymore. We were lucky we didn't walk into that line of fire. Yes, let's just move on. Oh god, I'm gonna have to do the voice. Damn it! Damn it! How did this happen? What do we do, Jaeger? At this rate, we'll be caught. Beats me. There's no way you can defeat that monster lady without Sir Durandal. He's not here. Good. You guys stick around and buy me time. I'm gonna get out of here while I still can. What? That's so messed up. Ah, shut up. There's no way to talk to me. Are you finished talking yet? I can wait a few more minutes, I suppose. This would be your very last conversation after all, so savor it well. Ah! Goberia! Ah! She cut us off! How dare you use that vile creature against me? You will pay for that. Ah! Ah! How incredibly easy. Only 2 left? Wait, please, hold on! Look, here's the magic flying device. You can use it, so take it. Mine too. Hey, what are you doing? Give it to her. Okay, here you go. What are you doing? I'm just apologizing. I mean, we apologize for testing it out in the Night of Requiem, so you can take my subordinate for the trouble. Just let me go. Just let you go, huh? How bold. I'm just doing whatever it takes to survive. If anything, from today on, I'll treat you like my master, so please... I have no use for a traitor. I do, however, have use for that device. Thanks. I suppose you can't hear me anymore, though. Well, there goes Jaeger, so you didn't get to fight him at all. He just got murdered by Corberia. Oh, not looking great. This is so cruel. They sure went crazy on them. The Empire truly shows no mercy. My home. My precious home. My mother and father. We used to live here. This place holds such precious memories, and now... Zephy, you okay? I know this is hard. Try and stay calm. This one's an easy one to work out. Say, yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm a little hurt, but I was prepared to see the worst. I'm glad you're okay. I don't know if I would have been okay if I was here by myself. I know Manessa's trying to help. They've torn it apart so much that I can't even tell what might be missing. I'm glad that drawing is still safe. Drawing? The one on the wall? Yeah, that's the one. When I was a kid, my mother used to tell me a story about a kingdom of snow, and this drawing was a map of the world it was in. Oh, really? Your mother sounds very sweet. Yeah, she was. I loved that story. I loved the drawing too, of course. So this drawing is really important to you. It's very detailed, so beautiful. Wait, is this? What is it, Charlotta? I just realized this map isn't from a story. What do you mean? This is a map to the den. Huh? But come to think of it, if the Snowy Kingdom is the forest, the Witch's Den is exactly where the town would be. You're right, but how? I don't think this is a coincidence. I just remembered something my mother told me when I was a child. She told me if something ever happened to her or my father, that I should go to any of these towns on the map and ask for help. I always thought it was just part of the story, so I never thought it was real advice. Do you think your mother might have been suggesting you should ask witches for help? I think so. I can see the logic there. But I have no idea why my mother would know about any of that. Why would she suggest I go get help from a witch? I caught on at this point, did you? Zephy, do you think your mother was connected to the witches somehow? If Zephy didn't know about it, there isn't really a way we'd ever know to answer to that. Mother, what did you want to tell me? I worked it out like immediately. Making me waste my energy. My apologies, that order seemed very important. We must find the clue. Fine, let's hurry up already. Yes, sir. Oh no, seems like someone's coming. Are they from the Empire? What do we do? Let's hide in the back, this way. This won't come this far, right? Let's just pray that we don't get caught. Oh? What is it? I don't know. I thought I smelled something sweet. Is that perfume? I suppose something could have spilled when we were here last time. Who cares? Hurry up and find that clue. Sorry. Kikaru was right. They're with the Empire. Zephy, I know what you're thinking, but we don't need to fight them right now. She's right. We're not done searching the Star Temples yet, and I really don't want to get tangled up with the Empire right now. Are you listening? Yeah, got it. Don't worry, I'm fine. Oh, I found it. What, really? Yes, it's on the wall. So this is the clue, huh? Well, all that matters is that we found it. Okay, let's get the hell out of here already. Yes, sir. And of course, you can already tell what's been taken. The only thing of note in the room. They're done. That was so scary. I wonder what they took. Well, let's see what looks different in the room. I wonder. Oh, the drawing! Of course. He's right, it's gone! What? Of everything, Zephy's keepsake? They said the drawing was a clue. Indeed, perhaps someone from the Empire realized the drawing was actually a map to our den. What? Do you think the Knights will attack? That map also had the locations of the other 5 dens that aren't there anymore, the ones that burned during the Carnival of Death. I hope they get to those first, but still, it's only a matter of time until they get to ours. Yeah, but before that drawing gets to the Knights, if we can take it back then. What do you mean? Those were people who worked for the Empire, not Knights. That means that the drawing is first going straight to the Emperor. After looking into it, I'm sure it'll get to the Commander and then the orders will be given out to the Knights immediately. We can't just wait around here, we need to go after them. Yeah, they can't be very far, let's hurry. This is weird, we still haven't caught up to them? Look at the tracks on the road, they must have been on horses. If they were on horses, there's no way we could catch up to them. Well, what do we do? We can't give up yet. I'm sure it'll take some time for the horses to get through the forest still. We should cut straight through the forest towards the Empire. We can cut them off if we hurry. I see. It seems that fighting through the Wilderness of Atonement has taught you a thing or two. Alright, let's go with Zephy's plan. We need to get that map back, no matter what. Let's hurry! And just like that, we're in Chapter 8, The Witch of Hellfire.
I can see the city.
We were just there. I never thought we'd return so quickly.
What are we going to do now?
I know I don't need to say this, but this place is under the Empire's jurisdiction. It really isn't safe for us to just walk around here. I want to take the map back before they get to the city, but...
Were we really able to cut them off? I know we took a shortcut and all, but still.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I can't see a thing from here.
I know, but if we get any closer, the guards will see us.
Do you get the feeling there are more soldiers than last time?
Hey, look. There's some people heading in.
Crap, that's... I didn't think they'd get here before us. We're too late.
They went inside.
We even got here before they did. Yet all we can do now is watch.
We're gonna have to go into the city and get that map back.
But it'll be impossible to get past the guards.
Why don't we wait until nightfall?
We can't. After the sun sets, the city gates will close and it'll be even harder to get in.
Oh no. Is there no other way?
Damn it. I need to do something before the map to the den gets to the commander.
Look there! Someone's coming out!
I think that's a doctor.
He's dressed too nice to be a regular doctor. Maybe his practice only serves rich people.
I think I agree with you. But I don't think he's very smart if he's coming out here alone.
How odd. Why is he walking along the wall? It looks like he's sneaking around. Maybe he's worried about the guards seeing him.
I know! Why don't we take him as a hostage? That way we can get inside easy!
That's a good idea, Karikaro.
Okay, so you take him as hostage then. Who exactly will you negotiate with?
What?
Karikaro, didn't you have a plan? That's not very practical, is it?
Well, let me go see what's going on. You all wait here.
It must be around here somewhere.
Hey, what are you doing?
Ah! Oh, who are you?
I'm sorry for sneaking up on you. I'm with the Knights of Requiem.
You're with the knights? Ah, right. You're dressed like a knight after all.
That's right. It seems suspicious that you were trying to stay hidden, so I decided to follow you.
I see, yes. I know how it looks. My name is Debiston. I'm a doctor. I apologize for my suspicious activity.
It's all right. However, I have to ask, what's a doctor doing out here in these woods? Are you searching for something?
How troubling. I suppose if you doubt me, I have no choice but to show you. And if you are a knight and you work for the Empire, I suppose it's all right. I was searching for this.
Whoa! A staircase!
Yes. This leads to a secret underground passage that heads right to the Emperor. I come from a family of doctors, and we have been serving the Emperor for generations. My father told me about this path long ago.
I can't believe this is here. I never thought there would be a passageway that led straight to the Emperor. I had no idea this existed.
Indeed. There are only a few people who know about the passageway. Consider this. If a doctor walked through the front door to go and treat the Emperor, rumors about the Emperor being sick might spread. Rumors could spread throughout the city and begin to strike fear in the citizens. So they prepared this passageway that we might be able to tend to the Emperor discreetly.
No wonder you had to sneak around. It does make sense now.
Quite so. This is the first time I've used this passageway myself. I heard it hasn't been used for a very long time.
You know, despite his old age, I don't think I've ever heard of Emperor Pharisaeus getting sick. I wonder if he's sick right now.
Oh, and please, keep this between you and me.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. I will be off now. Okay, now to get in. Oh? How odd. Is it broken?
With this passageway, we'll be able to get in and out of the city without anyone noticing.
I heard all of it. Great work!
What?
Hey, old man.
Yes? What? Are you witches?
Yep. Yeah!
Ugh. What are you doing?
What do you mean? We can't get through if this old guy is in the way. Use your head, genius. We just knocked him out, so don't get too worried about it. Let's just tie him to a tree and let him rest a bit.
He's just a doctor!
I do feel sorry for him, but we have to make the most of the opportunity.
This is an emergency, Zephy. Please understand.
I know we need to get that map back right away, but at what cost?
To spare you from your madness increasing, you need to click "We can't do it." It's kind of a pointless thing. You disagree with them, and then it just changes nothing. You'll see. But you need to click that to save your madness scale.
I guess that just means he has bad luck.
What? That's so messed up!
Why are you so stubborn? Do you have an alternative?
Well, okay, fine. Let's just do this quickly.
Right. We'll get the map back as soon as we can so we can release him right away.
All right, let's go. Follow me.
There's mold everywhere. They really haven't used this passageway in years.
You're right. I feel like if we breathe in this air long enough, we'll get sick.
Doesn't it smell kind of familiar?
Wait, this aura.
Was that a dragon? What's it doing here?
I bet it just wandered in here. That door is so old, it must have broke at some point.
Looks like there are quite a few around, too. That doctor should be thanking us. If he came through here, they would have eaten him to death.
Well, there's no guarantee they won't try to do the same to us. We need to keep our guard up.
Yeah, let's be careful.
The underground path is a unique dungeon because it has a floor that's entirely optional, as I've been alluding to for a while now. It also has a great track, but it has the worst enemies, but we'll get to that next time on Dragonstar. But until then, you guys take care now.